Hello, hello, hello. Whoa, am I loud? No, there we go. How's everyone doing? You right? Hey, mate, how you doing? You good? Can you let me know if you can hear me or not? So, how's everyone doing? I'm guessing people will eventually join. Let me just check something on my YouTube. One sec. I just want to make sure everything is a-okay. Oh shit, we got 8 people on. Can you guys hear the music? I don't know if it's too loud. Let me check it out. One sec. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. Nice. So I've gotten a request. I got a request on Tuesday. This being the request. I've done something quite similar to this. Even this being the case, I think this is an interesting project, and the way we can adapt and play around with it, I think, will be interesting too. So yeah, it should be interesting. So yeah, I mean, we could spend a few minutes just looking around on Pinterest and seeing what we can find, but I don't think we're gonna spend too long there. Oh, this is interesting. That's cool. Me gusta. Not super complex either. I think we may have done something similar to this. What else is there? We've seen this before. We've done this sort of modular design thing. Yeah, this is the airport in India, if I'm not wrong. I think. Is this the airport in India? Looks like it. In Mumbai, specifically. Yeah, I think we're just going to do the one I was showing off before. This one. We're going to play around with it a little bit. Unless there are any objections. I'm always open to modifying. But yeah, I think this could be interesting. I think the logic behind it is a cool one. I've been giving it some thought on how to achieve this result or something. How we can make this even better. And I have a few ways to do it. And there's also a few ways we can actually start the base geometry. Now, the way I'm thinking is using a polygon as a base geometry and then use those straight edges to kind of define how much the radiuses are. I mean, we could do it with like a semicircle like it is here. I think the original floor plan, I've actually saved a couple of images. So this is the one we have here. I thought this was really cool. This is just a hand drawing. It's like just radiuses, not super complex. Here we can see it a little bit better too. They're like petals, I guess. They kind of go towards the center. I think that's really interesting. Or we could play around with the amount we go out, right? How much it overhangs. That could also be a variable. Brian is never wrong. I'm always wrong, mate. You have no idea how wrong I am. Okay. So, as I was saying, the idea is going to be to start off with a polygon. Let me see if I can quickly draw. The idea is that this, at the end of the day, is just a polygon with just many, many sides. You know, these are just straight lines. There we go. It's just like, it's not a circle. And then we're just offsetting each one of these edges. And then how much we offset is going to define how much overhang we're going to have, right? That's going to be sort of the core principle behind this, and I think working with polygon makes it makes more sense, essentially. So we're going to start off with a polygon. Now the thing is, I'm not sure if we should sort of copy and paste in vertical. So polygon is defined by a radius. I'm going to go say between 0 and 10 with 2 decimal places. Oh, that was more than I thought. Let me just quickly change song because it's horrible. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, this is worse. One sec, guys. Sorry. Sure. Okay, segments. Number of sides. I'm going to start low. So I'm going to start off with like 3. It's always recommended to work with small values just because it's less load on your computer and it's just going to load a little bit faster. And you want to have a clear sight of what you're doing too. So the idea is that we have a triangle. Yeah, you could start with a circle. You could start with a circle, but you know, a circle is essentially a polygon with infinite sides, right? The more sides you have with a circle, the more it's going to be a circle. Sorry, the more sides a polygon has, the more it's going to resemble a circle. So yes, you can do it. Some people prefer to do it that way. I think it's just the way we're going to work. We're just going to work with a polygon, I think. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we're just going to copy and paste this upwards. So array, linear array, direction is Z. We also have to define the height here in factor. So the height difference is going to be, for now it's going to be like 3.3, which is normally like a standard height difference here in Spain at least. So I'm going to try and remember to give things names. So I'm going to call this height difference. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be height difference there. Count is going to be whatever. I'm going to say, again, we should start with low numbers. So this is going to be number of floors, and of floors, English again. There you go. The thing is, I have a keyboard that it doesn't have any letters on it. So my keyboard, I don't know if I could probably show you guys actually. One sec. Let me make it a little bit bigger. There you go. As you can see, my keyboard has no, it's just a gradient of grayscales. So it's just like, yeah. I mean, you have some letters on the side, but not on the front. It's all just a grayscale of white to black. Looks cool, but extremely impractical. But you get used to it. Okay. Anyway, back on track. Ooh, what did I just do? Okay, so count, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. We have this. Did I give it a name? Oh, this song's horrible too. Okay. So we have the number of floors. I'm going to turn this off. We have the count. Now, I'm thinking of rotating, actually. I think that could be interesting. I'm kind of preparing everything beforehand. So I'm going to use a series. And the rotation is going to be whatever I want. I'm not going to do any expressions to kind of define or predefine any values. This is going to be called rotation between floors. Just literal definition. Align all of this over here. Let's bring this up a little bit. No, okay. There we go. Okay, so bring that up there. Count has to be the same as this value here. So I'm just going to use a relay like so. In fact, I'm going to create a little bit more room. I want to see everything pretty as neat as possible. Okay. Sorry guys, I have a bit of a talk. There we go. Put that there. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, you know. Standard. So here we can rotate little by little between floors. I don't think we need to graft quite yet. And the plane is whatever, right? We don't need to define anything there. Why do I like that? Do you mean the keyboard? No idea. It was just, I don't know. I saw a video, it looked cool, bought it, noticed that it was extremely impractical, but said, you know what, I probably get used to it. And yeah, I've gotten used to it. Now I'm forced to learn where everything is on the keyboard. Okay, so explode, because if we offset, we may have some issues, I think. Offset curve. We need to offset outwards. So by default, it should be fine. Okay, cool. And this is going to be the overhang value. So I'm going to say 3 meters as an overhang value. I've just got a really interesting question. I'm going to respond in Spanish and then I'll respond in English so that my fellow English speakers could also understand. So I've just been asked by Axel Thames whether or not I live in Spain. Oh, I'm going to respond in Spanish first. Sí, actualmente vivo en España y trabajo para un despacho como diseñador. Diseñamos edificios residenciales. Es un poco el trabajo un poco más convencional. Y por fuera soy freelancer, donde hago todo paramétrico. Y por fuera el mercado en España está bastante regular. Tienes que trabajar en un despacho bastante grande para poder ejercer diseño paramétrico. Eso sí, requieren un nivel de Grasshopper o diseño paramétrico bastante elevado. Y también exigen bastante experiencia. Entonces, ¿España es bueno para el diseño paramétrico? Ahora mismo no. A no ser que tengas ya un recorrido y tengas ya un poco de renombre. España, pues bueno, es lo que es. Lo mejor que puedes hacer es trabajar online, trabajando como consultor. Eso hay mucho trabajo online y la gente lo busca. Y cada vez más, pues, se está buscando más online. A mí me llega bastante trabajo online. También he de decir que es por la plataforma. Tengo bastantes personas viendo mi plataforma y me escriben por ahí y me piden un poco ser consultor. So, let me translate that into English. So I've just been asked whether there's a lot of parametric work in Spain, where I currently reside. Unfortunately, not in person, but there is a lot of work online. So I get written to do a lot of jobs as a freelancer online, but I think it's partly because of my online presence. So I'm in a fortunate position. Okay, so here, so here I've offsetted. So these are my curves. And then what I'm thinking is to use endpoints here. Let me give this a name. Balcony, overhang. I don't think we're going to work with semicircles. I think that's restricting the design a little bit too much. We could add an expression to make it a circle if we wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary for this design. I want it to be a little bit more open to change. So I'm going to bring this over here. Okay, so we have the overhang value. This I'm going to put over here. So what I'm looking for is to connect the middle points. Oh, what happened here? I'm only connecting the first one. Because it's meant to be over the exploded geometry. Okay, that makes more sense. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to merge in order. So it's the starting point, the middle point, and then the last point, because I want to create the arc here. Think about it this way. The end point, 1, the middle point, and then the starting point, middle, end, right? So I want to connect in this order, 1, 2, 3, so that when I connect and interpolate a spline, I can just go ahead and do this. Wham. So I need to connect in this order. Do we need to graph? Maybe we have to. I'm going to do it anyway because I think it's good practice to do so. And I think in this data branch probably makes a lot more sense to do so. And then here, interpolate. And then I'm praying this works. Okay, there we go. And then if I turn all of this on, we should have something like this. Yeah, boy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save. Wish you could save in life. Okay, so that's that. Now what I want to do is I want to divide this into the middle and then split the curve in the middle. So middle. We won't be able to split actually because shatter requires a parameter. Ah, fuck. Okay. Sorry for my French. Okay, so what we can do is we can divide curve, which produces parameters, and we'll probably have to divide between two parts maybe? I don't know. Here it's dividing in 3 parts. Yeah, you need to divide in 2. That will give you the middle point. So that's going to be a panel because it's a constant. That's 2. I'm going to copy and paste to remove the panel title. Do that there, blah, blah, blah. Delete here, put this over here. List item, and we're going to select the second item, which will be panel 1, if I'm not wrong. So let me try and do this again. Okay, panel 1. If I click it, it's going to select the one in the middle. Perfect. Actually, yeah, exactly. Middle. And then we're going to shatter. This music's annoying too. Let me just change it. Okay. Shatter Chateau. It sounds like a French word, doesn't it? Chateau. I went to the chateau and right, because I'm connecting it to points, but I need to connect to parameter. Sorry, grasshopper. Didn't mean to make you cry. There we go. Put this up here. Did I just quote an Eminem verse? Okay, so I'm going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Put this over here. Bing, bong, bang, bing. Okay, so we have that. We have the two parts. In theory, if I bake this into Rhino, I'm going to be able to select them each one individually. Cool. Now, here comes the interesting part. We're going to graph mapper. We're going to need some sort of symmetry, but for now, I'm going to use a sine curve. Range. Who clogged the shatter? Nice. See what you did there. Bit of Brit knowledge. I like it. I dig it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to divide this into how many other parts. This doesn't even need to be a slider. I can just use a panel. I need it to be sensitive enough for it to actually make a decent spline. So I'm going to say 40 might be excessive, but we can ensure a good response from the curve. So, blah, 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 blim, blim. This is my number slider, my number thing, 40. I have to remove one of the values. X minus 1. Ooh, English. Try again. Expression, X minus 1. Okay. Okay, remap, because I want to have control over what values are being produced. Let me put this in big. So for those who are new to this, I'm going to quickly explain what we're doing. The graph mapper basically divides a curve into how many other parts we have, 40, right? So it divides it into 40 parts, and then it produces the intersection between each part with this curve. So for example, here in the middle, if we have 40 divisions, the 20th value, which is half of 40, is going to give us a value of 0.5, because this graph goes between 0 and 1. So it's more or less in the middle, right? So this graph goes from 0 to 1. So if I go to my panel, I can see it starts on 0 and it finishes on 1, right? If I were to change this, you're going to see it goes from 0 to from 0 to 1 and then back down to 0. So 0, somewhere in the middle, it's going to be 1 or almost 1 here, and it goes back to 0. So this is the logic. Why am I using an expression? Well, think about it this way. Let me draw it. It's just easier to explain. If I have a curve, right, and I'm dividing it into parts. So let's say I divide it into, 1 and 2. I'm actually producing 1, 2, 3. Sorry, if I'm dividing it into 3 parts, I'm actually getting 4 points. That's what I was looking for, right? So here I have part 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I've told it to divide it by 3, right? I said divide it by 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts. So what's happening is Grasshopper is going to produce an extra point. So all I'm doing is I'm removing one of the values. I'm kind of tricking it so that it forces it to produce 40 values instead of 41. Here it says 39, but that's because the first value is actually 0. So there are 40 values. Okay, so we have these values. I'm going to convert these values into another domain from here. Let me try this again. I'm going to use construct domain. Wrong one. Construct domain. Let's try this again. English. No, I keep selecting the wrong one. Oh my lord. I cannot believe I've... Fool me once. Fool me twice. Fool me 3 times. Jesus. Okay. And I want to be able to control the height of this value. So I want the smallest value to be at least 0.2. And then my highest value to be 1.1, which is more or less a railing height, right? So what we're going to see here is whatever is 0 is now going to be 0.2, and whatever is 1, whatever is 1 here, is going to be 1.1. So my last value is going to be now, it's going to go from 0.2, that's the minimum, to the maximum of 1.1 because I'm changing the domain, right? And in order to change the domain, I'm using a remap. The remap asks us for a list of values, which is this panel on the left. The source, which is basically what's your current minimum and maximum value. And then my target is what do you want your new list to have as a minimum and a maximum, right? So that's sort of the logic behind it. So it's kind of doing a rule of three, I guess, for each one of these values according to this construct domain. Okay, that there. So I'm going to use a move. I'm going to use Z to move these values up. Cool story. And then I think I may have to graft. Okay, no I don't. That's cool. Okay, so we have all of them. I'm going to turn this off. You're going to see that I'm currently just raising. I'm raising both of the parts. Okay, so first let me dispatch. I need to divide the list into two because remember we've divided the semicircle into two parts. So what I'm thinking is I can use a list item. I don't need to use a dispatch here and here. So I have two values, right? I have two curves. One, which is currently highlighted in green. I'm not sure if shaded yet. I don't know which one looks a little bit better. Arctic seems to be a little bit more. Okay, that's not too bad either. Okay, so this is one curve. This is the other. I'm going to use a curve to reference it. And then I'm just going to do this one here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the divide curve. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one, but I'm going to use the symmetrical of this value. So I might just reverse the list. Here, motion, reverse. There we go. So it's going to do a mirror. I think, yeah. I'm going to bring this down here. I don't need the panels to be honest. I'll leave them, it's fine. So here this is going, it's starting on 0.2, so you can see it's raising this, the first point is 0.2 and then the maximum height is 1.1. If I were to exaggerate this, we get this. Right, that's sort of the idea. Now, what we need to do now is interpolate because they're just points. So I'm just going to copy and paste like so. Turn this off. And we have that going on. Now, what now? What now, eh? What do we do? This is the part where we have freedom. We have free will. So we're not usually that great with too much free will. So let's see if we can see how we can sort this out. Oh, this song's annoying too. 1 sec. Okay. So we have this and this. What can we do? Let's see the reference actually. Here it just kind of goes down. That's a bit boring though. It's a bit boring. I don't know. Let me just see something. What if we use a conic? So this is going to be our balcony. Okay, so actually let me sort something out. This radius is too big. And then the number of sides, we said 6 for now. Okay, we don't need this for now. I want to bring this down. Yeah, let me see if we can do something. Merge. I'm going to merge these two curves together, like so. We're going to use join curves. Endpoints. Move. Do we move this down? Negative. We have the value, which is 3.3 from before. So I can just connect that automatically. I'm going to put this down here. This is going to go all the way to 3.3, which is somewhere over here. Height difference. I'm going to relay. like so. Okay, so that's 3.3. Bring this down. Okay, I'm going to do that for both of them. We're going to use a line to connect this with this. I'm going to need another line. I can just do this, this. Align all of this together. Come together. And then we have this going on. Okay, and then we have to merge these ones. So, merge. We're merging the joined curves on one hand. The order is also important here. Bang and bang. Do I need to graft maybe? I'm going to do it either way. Graft, graft, graft. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And then join curves. Hopefully this works. Let me double check. Bang, bang, bang. Yes. Okay, cool. Join curves. That works. Actually, maybe this doesn't make much sense. Maybe we could have just done this with... We could have done this. Let me just test something out. Instead of going 1.1, which is a railing, I think we should consider it... yes, that makes much more sense. That makes so much more sense. Interpolate. There's something happening here. What's happening? Do I need 41 points? Oh, because the divide curve actually produces 41 points, doesn't it? Divide curves produces an extra point. So we need to make sure it... okay. I keep forgetting that. Anyway, so we don't actually need this because this is going to be for something else. Okay, good. That's good. So we have this going on. What I do want to do is somehow make it more pronounced. Actually, I don't know. I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Okay, actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's see if we can force... Either way, this expression no longer exists. Turn this back on. Yeah, I think we might have to. Close curve. Patch. We're gonna have to work with the rigidity of the patch. Now what's happened here then? Let me just double check. Okay, it's the curve. Okay, so the issue is the curve itself currently. So we do need a conic, don't we? We need a conic. A gin tonic, that's what we need. And I think just the overhang needs to be a little bit bigger. And that's partially because we need more sides. And then, okay, I think this is going to work. Patch. 3.3. So actually no, so this is going to be 1.3.3. But that controls the curve, doesn't it? I need to decide how much. Oh no, it's a constant. What's happening here? Here it goes up, right? It goes up, and then what we're doing here is we're moving the points down 3.3, so it's double. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. We're going to resolve. It's going to be part of the design. Okay, so we have this, and what I'm thinking is, okay, so I need to backtrack a little bit. Join curves. Nope, not that one. Before all of this, here, these two curves. And what I'm thinking is that we need to move this one upwards. So move Z And we're going to move up whatever value we had before, which is 3.3, which is this one. I'm going to use an addition. This design got a lot more complex. 3.3, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a margin of, let's say, 0.2. We'll see why in a second. This will become a little bit more evident. Move, and I need to move these curves here. The ones before the segment, essentially. Okay, so let's relay this over here. Oh man, I need space. That's what she said. Okay. We're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loft these two together. Merge. I don't need this patch for now. Might need it later. I need to graft and simplify. Hopefully the branches match. And then I can just loft. The thing is, it's not closed, is it? Closed. Close curve. That's going to go there. I'm going to save. There you go. Perfecto. Okay. I need to clean this up a little bit. Loft options. Type. I'm going to straight. Do we want straight? I don't know. I never know what really works with the options in Loft, to be honest. No, so that's definitely not it. Free. No? Is it the adjust? That's the issue? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Type 1. Something strange is happening there, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, no. Let's try again. Bake. Yeah, it's a corrupt surface. So that's not what we're looking for. Does it clean it up? I don't know. I don't think it does. Is it because it's closed? Maybe it shouldn't be closed. Is that the issue? I can close it afterwards. Yeah, okay. It's having a hard time with closed surfaces. Got it. Okay, cool. So you have that going on. And then what I'm going to do is close the top, I guess. So I can do that manually. That's fine. I can use close curve. That one there. Then I can just use the surface because it's coplanar. It's going to close. Great. I just sounded like the tiger from the television. Great. Okay, so that. Should I leave it open? Open's pretty cool. I should probably give this a thickness though. Okay, that's actually not a bad idea. Let's bring this over here. I'm going to bring this one at the top, like so. We have that sort of thing going on. I should probably give this. I'm going to give it a thickness, but I think I'm going to do that at the end. I'm just going to work with this surface here. And I'm just going to give it a thickness. So extrude, Z. So a slab would have like 0.3 more or less. I need it to go downwards. It's negative. Or should we go upwards? No. Je ne sais pas. It can go downwards. Oh, what did I just do? What the hell did I just do? It could go down, and it could go down that difference we indicated before. So I'm going to drag this to, where are you here? To this value here. Bang. Delete this. And that way I can make sure it matches the thickness of the thingy-mabob. Yeah, there we go. Okay, me gusta. Okay, what next? Turn this off. It has 6 point something meters. That's pretty big. But we could do a double floor height. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, my idea was to close it, but I'm liking how it doesn't close. And the thing is, the rotation at the start, we can make it a little bit bigger, I guess. 30. Oh, that's going to be dependent on the number of sides, isn't it? So let's actually go for something a little bit more gradual. Do we want it to be... No, actually, no, I don't want it. I want it to be a little bit more... You know what? It's not relevant right now. So. I'm thinking... So, shit, how do I organize this? We have 3.3, but then I've also displaced here by 3.3. That's the issue. That's the current issue here. Where is my thingy? Here, 3.3. So I'm essentially doing double 3.3. I should probably unify units. 3.3, that's going to be the height difference. Dang it. Okay. Okay, how can I bring that over here? I'm just unifying values so that I have less variables. So this is going to go here. I could have just connected it here. What am I doing? I'm just gonna, yeah, let me just reconnect here. That was silly. There you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have double 3.3, which is not bueno. So what that means, or what that's gonna change here. These are the floors. Okay, so essentially what I'm gonna have to do is this. Move. Shit, how am I gonna do this? So the issue I'm having right now, which you may be wondering, is do we want each one of these arcs to have 2 floors? So let me see if I can quickly draw. Do we want, this is a question, this isn't rhetorical, I'm asking you guys. Do we want like 2 floors, like 1 and 2 for each one? So this would be like 1 floor and then another one underneath, so that these petals, if you were, are 2 heights, 2 stories tall, right? Which is 1 and then 2. Do you want it, do we want to subdivide each one by 2? That's the question. Or do we just want 1 per height? What do you guys think? Genuine question, guys. If anyone could respond to me, that would be absolutely fantastic. I could just leave it 1. I would just have to adapt this. Damn it. Yeah, I would just have to do 1 point. What's half of 3.3? 1.5 plus 15 is 1.65. You get this, but then of course you just reduce the number, the radius. Let me make sure actually. I might be wrong here. Oh no. No. It's already right because here I'm just going down 2 heights. That's actually, I feel like I don't actually. Oh no, what's going on? This. Join curves. The thing is, why am I going down? Yeah, I'm just dumb. That was just silly. I'm doing extra steps for no bloody reason. Sorry guys, that was such a dumb question on my behalf. And I didn't, yeah, it was a bit hidden. Okay, no, yeah. I mean, we could do more height, like even so. So like if we make this like 6.6, you're just gonna have more height. Let's go for one height for now, just kind of simplify things a little bit, and then we could work out the double height thing. Okay, so we have this going on, and then the top. Okay, so here now we can do the railing thing. So railing. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. I'm getting into it. Here we have this. Okay, let me bring this back a little bit. These two components are important. This one here specifically. So I'm going to relay this one underneath. That's going to be that, and then I'm just going to divide curve. Actually, I can just copy and paste the number slider thing. All this, I can just copy and paste the crap out of this, like so. Okay, so this is going to be 2. Move. We're going to move this direction, and we're moving the divide curve, which I currently don't have indicated, but that's an easy fix. And then this goes to move. Voila. Yes, cool. Okay, and then interpolate to kind of connect all the dots. Turn this off, and this curve we can use a merge. Okay, bring this down over here. Graph the crap out of it. Graphed, simplify. We're also going to simplify on this side, and we can do a loft here. There we go. Now, it's a little bit too much height, I know. So let's reduce that, 1.1. And then we have this effect going on, which is interesting, but perhaps it makes more sense to do a sign that goes up and down. Like so. Can you guys see the vision? Can you see it? Yeah, I think that makes sense. And the thing is, even if we were to exaggerate it, you'd be able to... actually, no, what if we inverted it? Ooh. Now we get into interesting terrain. Oh, what if this were also 3.3? What would happen? You would have like a symmetrical thing going on. Let me quickly bake it into Rhino and see what it looks like. Or we should just leave it different. I don't know, there's so many variables we can try out. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna like it the other way a little bit more. 1.1. And then we could invert this. I'm just going to copy and paste this as another option. So that's that option 1. Option 2, I think option 1 for now. We see a lot of division. What do you mean, mate? Okay, so we have that. We have the original polygons, which are these. And then what we can do is offset inwards, negative, and this is going to define sort of the interior space. So, whatever values that is, don't know. I don't know if it makes more sense to do it the other way around. If I do it this way, so this is actually the interior radius, and then this goes here. I think that makes a little bit more sense parametrically, and we can adjust it in a second. Let me quickly move everything a little bit. Okay, so this radius, interior wall radius, this is interior terrace, interior terrace offset. That's going to be important. I'm going to bring this at the top. Or underneath, actually. Underneath makes more sense. Bring this towards the end. I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so we're going to be working with both of them, actually. Oh, is it not the rotator? Oh, I didn't rotate, did I? No, it's right. Bang, bang. Oh, because it's moved up. Damn it. Because we moved it up. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, that's fine. We can. The thing is, it's automatic. We can. It's like an automatic adjustment because we already have the number sliders for it. So we'd actually have to adjust it each time. So we just have to connect it to here, and then we're ready to roll. This one goes here. There you go. This is my interior slab, and in fact I need to do that for both of them. So I'm using the same motion and relay. Okay. Okay, so that's that, and we can extrude downwards. Extrude direction Z, negative, same dimensions as we had before. We're trying to make this automatic, I guess. So the automatic value is this one here. This is slab thickness. Important. Now what I'm thinking is that we should probably use a relay. Reconnect that there. This is an important piece of information. So I'm just going to drag this to the beginning. And I'm going to make some space. There we go. This, I don't know whether or not we should take this to the bottom. I think maybe that might be a sensible idea. Extrusion, it's the one we just created now, 0.3. So I'm going to use a relay to connect that. Relay. There we go. Bang. I need to convert this into a surface. Surface. Bang. Bang. And just a copy and paste. Because we might want them to be different materials. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Actually, do we want it to be... We can just use the big one, I guess. Yeah, we don't need this one, actually. We don't need this one. Ah, wrong one. Lol. That was a mistake. Bang. Okay. This one. I can actually use a relay to here. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Vale, a ver, aquí vamos a conectar esto acá. Okay, so we have this here. Slab. Okay, we have that interior slab. We're gonna need more sides. I can feel it in my bones. Nah, it's just the radius is too big. Shoot. What's the interior offset? That's too many. It's too many. 10. Okay, there we go. I don't know. This is something we're going to play around with. Okay, so we have that going on. We have the interior slab. Crap, which one is it? This one? No, I need the other one, don't I? Okay, so I am going to need another one. Okay. Silly me. There you go. So we're going to move all of this. This is going to be interior, which is really small. Small. Why is it so small? Interior radius is 2, that's why. Let's make it double. We're just going to add more floors afterwards, so it's going to look better. For now, I'm going to work with this. We have the interior. I'm going to... this is a good idea, maybe. Extrusion, where the extrusion height is going to be a subtraction of the height difference, which is 3.3, minus the slab thickness, which is 0.3. And that's going to be, yeah, so that's going to be my extrusion of the walls, I guess. There you go. And then we can use a paneling system, panel, quad panels. We're going to use dimensions. I think okay, that I need to explode first. Deconstruct rep to break the poly surface into its separate faces. The dimensions we can find out in a second. How many parts do we want to divide it by? I want to divide it every... okay, let me work this out. Expression, no, division. I want it to be every meter and a half maybe. Window width. Window width. And the other one should just be 1. Now I don't know which one's which, but we're going to find out. No? Okay. That's because it's smaller than 1. Most likely. No? Okay. Extrusion to surface. Ah. That's funny. That's funny. Connected it to the wrong one. So here it's dividing by every 0.5. If I divide it by 1, you're going to see it's going to be divided more or less into every 1 meter. Okay, good. And then height, we're just going to divide it by 1 because we only want 1 total height. And then what I'm going to do is an MD, no, actually no, area, evaluate surface to make sure. I'll show you guys in a second, actually. Make more sense in a second. Okay, so here we're going to offset curve. This is going to be my plane. Distance is going to be negative. And I want the frame to have a thickness of 10 centimeters. So 0.1. This is going to be this. I don't need a relay. So I'm making sure that I'm offsetting it inwards, because I'm basically saying I want these quad panels to be offsetted inwards. So you can see those lines there. And I want to make sure that it's always inwards. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting it to an evaluate surface, and I'm giving it a point to consider positive, to consider negative or positive. It's just choosing a direction, right? So I'm making sure that this point is inside of the surface, and then that way the frame is always going to be a plane that has a direction, right? Yeah, so that's basically the logic. And then offsetting inwards, and then here what I can do is I can do a solid difference. I'm just going to make sure it's going to match up properly by grafting and simplifying in both of them, on both of them. Like so. Might take a second. Okay, that was much quicker than I thought. Surface. Now I'm going to give this a color because it's kind of crazy right now. This is my frame. This is my slab. I'm going to drag this to the end. Oh, lol. Okay, I need to sort that out in a second. Yeah, so this is, I can use a custom surface, custom preview. Swatch. This is my frame, so I'm going to make that black. Copy paste. This is going to be my window, which is going to be a light blue, just so that we can see. Like so. Okay, cool. Let's bring this relay over here. Now I need space, don't I? So this is happening over here. So it might be wise for me to bring this down somewhere. I'm going to do this. Relay. Better to have more space than no space at all. Okie dokie. Alright, so let's put this over here. Line this a little bit. I want these ones to be over here. These are my results, like, essentially. That's going there. Cool. Now, what was I going to do? What I'm thinking... Oh, damn. I'm starting too high here. I'm starting too high here. Oh, that's annoying. Give me a sec, guys. Let me see if I can work something out. I'm starting here. I'm starting this height. Because my original... 1, 2, 3. Rotated. 3.3. What happens if I don't move it down? It's not going to be rotated correctly, is it? Shite. Well, that's annoying. Well, we could say the first floor, I'm not even going to bother. The first floor is just open. I don't care. Can't be bothered. Okay, so whatever. That's there. This is pretty. We can make this taller, maybe. Or we could make the minimum a little bit bigger. 0.4. And then we could add a railing behind it. Sort of. Yeah, I think that we'll probably have to. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to quickly add this here. Offset curve. Thing is, I want it to go inwards, but I'm not sure if all of them are going to go inwards. That's going to be an interesting thing to see. Oh, lol, wrong one. Inwards. Is it all going inwards? Are they all going inwards? Yes, they are. Okay, cool. That is good news for us. And that's going to be like a glass railing or something, right? So I'm going to extrude Z. This is going to be whatever railing height we want, 1.1. That way we can have two independent things. One is like this solid fluid thing, and then we have the glass behind it to make sure that there's always a minimum height. So change this to that color there. And then let me bring this over here. Ooh, wrong one. Over here. Bring this over here. I'm also going to change the color of our volume. There we go. Do you get it? Cool. Glass railing height. Okay. There we go. And then here again, we can make this bigger. I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know. Alternatively, it could be this, where it goes up in one direction. Yeah, I don't know. This is just preference, a sort of preference thing. You could do that too, I guess. And then, what may be interesting... yeah. Where is the other one? Here's the other one, which I'm also going to change the color of. This is my other one. What's this? I don't remember. Oh, this is the slab. Lol. Okay, so this could probably merge with this. This I'm going to make black to be in theme. This is my slab. It's currently showing the same, so it might be wise to use the same color. But anyway, we have to give this thing a thickness too. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an offset prep. Toggle solid. I don't need to both sides. Let's give this a thickness of 0.1. Let's check it out. Let me save. This here might take a second to load. And this one goes here. So this now has a thickness and it's going inwards. So I need to invert the distance. Negative. Bang. Did it work? Yes. Cool. Does work. Okay, so let's put that there. And I'm going to do the same for this one here. Now maybe we want them to have different offset values. So I'm going to do a separate one. And then that there. And then this can just turn off. And then that way that's going to look seamless. Cool. And okay, so what we're looking for now is, what am I looking for? I don't know. More heights? Is that a thing now? Can we play around with the design? I think we can. This thing not starting at the height is really bugging me though, so I need to fix this. Here I'm moving the geometry up. Is that how that works though? I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, does it? If I do this, it's going to work either way because the slab is grabbing the whole surface, so it's not even necessary. Okay, cool. Now the height difference. Okay, let me turn everything else off. This is a pretty packed... Oh crap, did I just delete the slab? Is it this? Oh crap, no. I just turned something off. Ah, this is the slab, okay. This is my slab, correct. Now what? Let's bring this... Make some space. Like so, okay. And this is my slab. Caramba. Let's try it. Let's just move this. Oh, does that work? Yeah, sure. Okay, I need to organize this a little bit. Let's bring this out. I'm going to grab the colors, sort this out too. Bang. Bring this out here. Cool. My final geometries, which are going to be all of these. And this, I guess. Bang. Okay, bring this back. Let me just organize this a little bit. Just need to make sure that the spacing is right. Okay. This is my slab. Okay, so this I need to color as well. Slab. Probably make it white. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add more floors. I'm going to save. Okay, so I'm going to change the name of this. Might take a second to load. Yeah, some nice layering stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so number of floors, I'm going to go for a hefty 10 and pray for the best. I think the heaviest calculation in this script is probably going to be the offset prep, so it might be wise to leave that off. Yeah. Rotation between floors, I'm going to change the name. Actually, no, yeah, I'm just going to make it matte. Should I go for 30? Yeah, maybe let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like, guys. Let it load. Let it load. Evil. Evil. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Man, now I'm really tempted to use a graph for the rotation. Oh, man, I feel like I have to now. Shite. Ah, you... Oh, damn, that's annoying. I might have to. I don't know. It's a quick fix, but it's just bloody annoying. Where would it even go? Would it go? Where would it go? Where's my rotation? My rotation is at the beginning, right? Offset here. It's here. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm going to quickly add something in, just because I can. Ha. Okay, this is going to be the last step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snag this over here. Bang. Copy paste. Let me disconnect this for now. Copy paste. Okay, so the logic is, where am I? This is going to be my rotation value. It's going to go between 0 and 180. 180 is going to be my max. 0 is going to be my minimum. Oh. Okay, so that's my no. That's this. I'm going to use number of steps. I do need an expression in this one. X minus 1. This is going to be defined by the amount of floors. So here, if I have 10, this is going to be here. Okay, let me just turn this off. I need to make sure this works. Turn this on. Graft. Bang. Now, in theory, if I change this, oh shit, to a sine, and I do this, we're going to see what happens in a second. Where's my 0.5? There. Yeah, this is a little patch. Let me just change these names. Max rotation. Minimum rotation. It's not even minimum, it's like starting rotation. Save before we do anything, and then just see what happens. So what should happen now is like the rotation should be like in a sine wave, logically speaking. Okay, so here, I don't think you can notice. It's, yeah, I mean, sort of. So it is happening, it's just not that great. You can see this is doing this. It's doing this. And it's doing the same here. This is the sine wave. This is the sine wave here. Now it doesn't look great because the rotation maximum is 180. So if I increase it to 360, we should be able to visualize it a little bit better. So let that load. Let it load. Let it load. Do. Save. Ah, man. God damn it. Yeah, I should have saved. Didn't I save before? Mate, I need someone to remind me constantly to save. Oh, I think I might know what's... Oh no, it is in degrees. 360. What on earth is happening? It's not listening to me, guys. Why? Why is it not listening, eh? Do I need to simplify? Let me double check if it's working, because I have my suspicions. There's a quick way I can check. I can do this. No, it's not working. Ah, lol. It is working. It is working. It's just because we have so few of them, it just doesn't seem like it. So what if I do a slight... No, what if I increase this? No, it can't be so abrupt. So I'm gonna make it more subtle. I think that should be noticeable. Turn this off. Oh, well, that was stupid. Let it load again. It should be done. Yeah, it should be done. Is it not working? What's the issue here? I can't see it. So I can't see it, so I'm going to use a pipe to visualize it. Jesus. I can't visualize it well. That's annoying. Right. I mean, I can kind of see it. It goes round. Yeah, the value's just too big. It's just too big, isn't it? I think that's going to be the main issue. If I do like 90, if I do it 90, I should see it in one quadrant. One quadrant of the circle. I should be able to perceive it. Yeah. Here it's just a sine wave. Ah, okay. Yeah, this works. So, let me use something a little bit more visual. And then we can get crazy in a second. Make like really huge. Let it load. Let it load. There we go. Can I visualize what's happening? Is it happening here? Is it not happening? I don't understand. It doesn't look like it's happening. The fudge. Is it just too strong? If I make it like much smaller. Huh. Like I can see it now. Like it's really annoying because it's so subtle. I think it's just because I just need a lot more. Or a lot less. Like if I make this instead of 10 sides, I make it like, I don't know, if I make it like 6. It should be quicker to calculate a little bit. Yeah. Here you can see the gradual. Here you can see it a little bit better. So if I make it double, it's going to be sort of, it's just going to be bigger, isn't it? Yeah, here you can see it. So the issue is just the number. So, okay, I'm not going to let that deter me too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I continue is I want to be able to visualize what I'm watching. So I'm going to turn this off. Turn this one off too. Turn this on. That way I can visualize it a little bit. Here you can see the curvature. Right? So that's just a guide for us. I'm going to turn that off. I don't want to see it. And then here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increment the radius to like 8. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is going to add more sides. Like a lot. A lot more sides. There we go. Yeah. And then if I turn this back on, it might be a bit too heavy. I should probably introduce a higher rotation value. So let me try a different view. Why is it showing as an ISO curve? I don't understand. That's annoying. Okay, dokie. High quality. Oh shit. Okay, so. Yeah, it's really, I can't see the quality too much. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can quickly fix that. There we go. That's what I want to see. I'm going to delete this afterwards. There we go. Yeah, it's just too big a value. Ah, god damn it. You know what? I'm just going to leave it gradual. Gradual. I'm just going to leave it straight, linear. I don't have time to play around with it too much. Okay, there we go. That way it's a gradual rotation. Okay, so do I want to add more floors? Do I want to make it a bigger difference, height difference maybe? Let's try out. If it were 4 meters between slabs, what would it look like? It's going to look more stretched. Now, do I like that? Not particularly, no. I'm going to leave it as it was, 3.3. And what I am going to do is just add more floors. That's it. 100 floors. We're going to say this one measures 60. Yeah, 60 more or less. Might take a second to load. Oh, that's the divisions. Haha, hilarious. Hilarious. 20. Wrong one. Okay, I'm going to save. Save, and then I'm going to just add more floors. So, 10 floors. Do I want it to be double? Let's go for 25. 2.5 times bigger. There you go. Actually, out of interest, would it look better here if I use an arc? And it goes between 360 is excessive. It might be excessive. Might be excessive. Let's go for 90. And I'm going to go and do this. Just out of curiosity. Multi-tenant housing. Oh look, yeah, you can perceive the curvature a lot better. Yeah, you can perceive it a lot better. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is use a sign. I think it's going to look better. Let's try that out just quickly. And I could probably exaggerate the curvature instead of between 0 and 90. Why doesn't it interpret it the same? Oh, because it does this sort of influx thing. But it's interesting. Nonetheless, it's interesting. Radius does need to be a little bit bigger. Or just have less sides. But I like the number of sides actually, so I'm just going to increment the radius a little bit to 10. Yeah. There we go. I need to delete this rotation between floors thing because that's non-existent now. There you go. It works. And then the offset, the overhang is the thing I'm struggling with now. Balcony overhang is 4 meters, which might be a bit too much. Let's go for 3.5. Which is still a lot, but it's a little bit more believable, isn't it? And then maybe what I'm thinking is that the offset of the interior one, interior terrace wall offsets. Yeah, so if I make this 0, what should happen, there we go, is that we can see the windows a little bit better. And maybe that makes more sense. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. These are just things we need to evaluate. Anyway, yeah. I think this is pretty much it. So, I'm going to turn... Oh god, this might be a bit excessively heavy. Might take a second to load, but we're going to have to do it, aren't we? Curve to get larger at the top. What do you mean? What do you mean, legend? Oh, did it load? No, of course it didn't. Wishful thinking. Ah, well, it's kind of loading. Sort of. Sort of loading. Is it loading? Is it loading? Is it loading? Come on, load. Load, you bastard. Nope. Nope. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're back. Okay, so yes, it does. Okay, layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many layers we have. We have like 8, don't we? Okay, so let's go. Layer 1. I should probably give this name. I can. The only issue is that if I make the ones larger at the top, the overhangs are going to be deformed because they're going to reach the same point. Is that real? The thing is, you would change the dimensions of the base polygon, but the overhang is going to be the same, so there's going to be some sort of deformation there. That's what... Oh shoot, did I forget to do this one? Oh no, it's fine. This is 4, 5. Sunk. Oh, I don't have that many layers. Oh no, I do. 6. Lastly 7. But yes, we can do that. That's an option. Okay, so this I need to change the names so I can know what I'm doing. Let me quickly change this to this version. Terrace. Glass railing. Railing wall. What's this? Interior slab. Don't know what this is. The frame. And this is probably the window. Yep. And this is nothing. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Yeah, we can, Walter. I guess the logic there would be to do it the other way around, to be honest, where you have it thicker at the bottom and then smaller at the top. Right. That's an easy fix, I guess. This script has gotten a lot more complex, which is always interesting. So the logic would be that you have, what the hell, what am I watching here? You have these curves, right? And then what you would do is you would scale them. Scale from the center by a value, which is going to be another number slider, another graph mapper, rather. What did I just do? Copy paste. Like so. Need to make sure it's flattened. I need space. Here you would do this. Scale factor would be between like 1 and 2. Scale, this would be the fact. Oh no, the factor would be this. This would be the center factor. Then the geometry itself would be this. And I need to make sure everything is grafted. So you'd have that sort of thing. And then you say to do this, right? I'm proposing to do it the other way around. And I think conic would look better. And I would need to do the other way around. So I'm thinking reverse. No, that's not the way to do it. You would just do this, I guess. Conic. No, it's probably a better one. Where is the there we go. Parabola. There we go. Do you know what I mean? Let's try it out like that. Let's see what happens. I need to turn all of this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to relay this. Relay. Oh, this is getting tricky. Bang. And this now goes here. Let's see what happens. Wham. Time to get the popcorn. You bastard. You know what you were doing. Let's see. Let's see what happens. This is going to be rather interesting. It's loading. Por favore. Por favor, per favore. Did you guys see the proposal of my thing for the Viper? Oh, this is another thing I was working on. Actually, I want to show you guys. Now is a good time to share. Scoliosis Pavilion. Oh, loaded. Okay. Loading the viewer. This ought to be interesting. Oh god, interesting but heavy, man. Yeah. There we go. All right. Well. What do we have here? I mean, the cool thing would be like have to make it, you know, even taller. I guess the scale here could be, instead of 1, it could be like 0.5, and then here it could be like 3. 0.5 would be half of this. Yeah, I mean, it would look more interesting. It's just going to be a time to calculate. Of course it works, mate. What do you think? Who do you think we are? This isn't the Viper Pavilion. This is another one. The Viper Pavilion was so bloody hard to work out. I wish you guys would know how much bloody work it took to work out the Viper Pavilion. It's one of those scripts that I don't know. It's just crazy script. This is the Viper Pavilion. Oh, did it calculate? I'm still calculating. Okay, this is the Viper Pavilion. Sati is working on this. He's a bloody genius. There's a tremendous logic to this script that's so bloody hard to solve. Yeah, the other way around I think would also look better, but we're here to try things out. Yeah, the Viper Pavilion is going to look... It's a crazy post. Like, I've already seen previews of what Sati is working on, and man, guy's an animal. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. What I was telling you earlier, here it's going to be like really stretched, where at the top it's going to be more open. You know what I mean? Here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to invert this. Invert the domain. Let that load. Yeah, the Viper Pavilion is the Viper Tower. It's really cool because Sati's working on a version where he's basing off the materiality of the design on the on Gaudi's sort of ceramic tiling, which is beautiful. But man, the script is bloody scary. It's one of those scripts I don't feel like I should probably share right now. I'll probably share like in a couple of months when I'm kind of over it, but it's a powerful script, man. Heavy script. And the thing is, I was looking for an elegant solution to a very complex problem. Oh man, what? I do not like this. I want it to be more conic. Why is that happening? Why doesn't it do... Oh, because it's the curvature's the other way bloody round. I should probably do this before I... yeah, I mean, time wasting at its best. The idea is to do this the other way around. There we go. No, no, that's the one we did earlier. Oh, that's interesting. What the hell am I doing? I need the curvature to be the other way around. What the fudge? No. How do I make it the other way around? Oh, that's really annoying. Do I just invert these two? There we go. No. What the there. There we go. 0.5. What if I make this like 3? Would that be too much? That might be too much, right? That's... Oh, that's really small. That's not a good idea. Yeah, so that. And then what I could actually do is probably perhaps add a few more floors. So instead of 25, I can say like 30. And that way it's more gradual. And this is going to be the last calculation. There we go. Whilst that loads, I can probably show you this. One sec. Probably should avoid turning this on. One sec. Give me a sec, guys. Let me see if that loads. So I'm just copying. Okay. So there's this. There you go. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bloody difficult to resolve. Yeah, what else do I have around here to show you guys? Oh look, it's finished. Good. Yeah. Voila. I like this result. It's cool. Yeah. I dig it. Oh, the issue is I'm offsetting here as well. That's why. That is why it is happening too. Anyway. Yeah, anyway. Cool. Alright, so let's bake this and then we'll be off. Haha. Turn this off. I want to bake this into bake layer. Oh, well. Let me quickly do this. 1, 2 terrace, 3 glass railing, 4 railing wall, 5 interior slab, 6 is window frame, and then 7 is window. Okay, so let's bake this layer 1. Might take a second to load. More than a second actually. And come on, my guy. Let it load. Let it load. Okay, try again. 2 terrace. Okay, that's quicker. 3 glass railing. 3. What's this? Oh, did I? Okay, this is 4. I lost count. 4. Oh, come on, you silly goose. Oh, Dios. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slayer 5. Coolio 5. And then 6. And then lastly 7. Okay. So, window. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. This is light blue. Yeah, that's cool, man. Damn. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, Walter, you're right. That's a cool addition. What should we call this tower? What on earth do we call this tower? What do we call this tower, mate? Let me just check something quickly. Damn, yeah, it's cool. That's cool. Reptile, reptile tower. What's that animal called? Is it an armadillo? Armadillo tower, that'd be cool. Oh shoot. Armadillo. Kind of reminds me of this. For some reason. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah man, this is cool. I dig this. The render's going to look interesting. I might have to leave a render before I go out. And what could be interesting too is to, if I were to raise this up a little bit, so let's say 0.05, you have that little crease in between. That could be interesting. Alright guys, absolutely amazing. I mean, the idea was to do a calm stream, but bloody me, this is an intense script. I need to clean this up, man. It's so funny because I try to make it nice and clean at the beginning, but always end up the same. Scruffy and dirty. That's the way we like it around here. Okay, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for you legends who have managed to stay towards the end. For you guys, I'm gonna you guys who are here, send me a message on Instagram and I'll send you this script. You guys can have it as a thank you for joining me. Just send me a message. I'm not going to send it on the chat in YouTube, because otherwise when people come in they can just download it and it's like, you bastards, you didn't even join this stream, but you guys deserve it. So yeah, cheers mate. This was look at that, that's crazy. Yeah, if I come back to this in a year's time, no idea what I did. Know what I mean? Yeah, so again, send me a message on Instagram, guys, and I will share the script with you, for sure. You guys absolutely deserve it for holding in there like champions. So I'm actually going to do that now. Send me a message now on Instagram if you can, please. I really want you guys to have it as a thank you. I'm going to quickly send this to myself via WhatsApp, and okay, that's the link. There we go. So yeah, just send me a message now, please. I don't know what we should call it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a quick render. I'm gonna try and do a render tonight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time. I'm gonna upload it on my stories and then ask for a name of it. Ask you guys to give me a name for it, and then whatever's best. But armadillo is a pretty good shout, although it doesn't really look like an armadillo in proportions. So anyway. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining. You guys are absolute legends. Thanks Walter, you always make the days a little brighter. Alright guys, have a great one, and I'll speak to you very soon, hopefully. Please send me a message on Instagram, very important. Alright guys, have a great one. Bye.